Morning, everyone. Hey, another beautiful day starting out there, coming up, the sun rising on Boulder, Colorado. And we are so fortunate to be living here. You know what the amazing thing about Boulder is, and I've known this over the years, you can be anything you want to be in Boulder, and nobody looks sideways at you. You can be the weirdest kind of person, and we have plenty of weird people here. But nobody seems to make a big deal out of it. So that's the beautiful part of it. That's what acceptance is all about. And that's what really accepting the fact that we are a diverse people and that creation loves diversity and so does unity. Is there anybody here from another unity today? Anybody here for the first time? Okay. Well, then you all have the opportunity to listen to someone you've heard before, but she is really inspired this morning. Look forward to Syntysche's talk.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder, everyone who's joining us here in-house and everyone who's joining us online. We love spending time with you each Sunday. Thank you for spending time with us. Got a few announcements from some upcoming events. We started a men's book group about a month ago or so, and they're done with the book that they started on, and now they're going to open it up, and it's going to be ongoing every Tuesday night from 6:30 till about 8-ish. All men are welcome to join. You don't have to sign up for it. All you have to do is show up. It's free. But it's not going to be a book group so much as it's going to be more of a discussion and support group. So if you're looking for a nice men's group and a nice group of guys to go hang out with, just show up here at 6:30 on a Tuesday evening. Let's see what else we got going on here. We have our annual Kids Halloween party. That'll be October 27th. It's free. It's from 5 to 7. There'll be candy, games, face painting. We start it with a potluck, so there's food as well. And so if you have kids or know anyone who has kids who's looking for a free, fun, safe event, this is a fantastic event. We have fun doing it every year. We are still looking for volunteers for it as well. If you'd like to run one of the booths, help us prepare food, give away candy, that kind of thing. Everyone always has a good time. You get to see all these cute little costumes running around. So yeah, that is October 27th, which is a Sunday. And we also have our haunted house that day for the Boulder kids. Let's see, we've already started our holiday Christmas wreath fundraiser that we do every year. We have to pre-order them because they're handmade. They go for a suggested love offering of $45, and you can order them right here in the office from Heather, and you'll get them in late November. Let's see. We are doing our annual craft fair, our holiday craft fair that we do every year over here in Fellowship Hall. We're going to do it on 2 Sundays, so there's a lot of room for vendors. That's going to be December 1st and 8th. If you know anyone who likes to go to craft fairs and set up booths and sell their wares, please let them know, have them call us. We got plenty of extra room for booths. All right, that is all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity. Right now we're going to come into the presence of this room, and this is a call to prayer. It's an opportunity for us to take the little sheets of paper and write names down of people that might be facing some challenges right now in their lives, and it's always okay to write your own name on that piece of paper. You don't have to say what the issue is, because we know that the universe knows what we need before we ask. This is really a practice of us aligning. There's this greater power, this greater energy that's within each and every one of us, connecting with that high consciousness and others that are needing this help, so that we can mirror this healing back to one another through the cosmos in this most amazing way. So I'm joined with my daughter Arenya and my mom, and we sing this song just to come into the presence of this room, into this holy space, and we encourage you to sing with us.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Guide your way home.
Beautiful singing. All right, we're going to invite our entertainment club up here, and we're going to sing a sing-along. You're welcome to join us on as well. You all probably know this song from, well, I don't know, TikTok and Instagram if you guys play there. It's a pretty well-known Christian song that we've reworded a little bit to try to let it fit into Unity's message, but most importantly, it's about that channeling that the person that wrote the song connected with the Spirit of God or Source. And it just touches us when we hear the song, so here we go. And Arenya, my daughter, will start.
You call me out upon the water, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you should call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your love. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you should call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your love. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you should call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your love. I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
Beautiful singing.
Now I'd like to welcome to our stage, or back to our stage, our today's special musical artists. We have John and Amy. It's been a while, guys. How long has it been since you guys have been here? Yeah, since March. All right. Well, welcome back, John and Amy.
Thank you so much. That was incredible. It's funny because that amazing harmony singing you just heard connects with the song that I'm about to sing. It always works out that way here. It's kind of magical. This song I wrote about my great-grandmother. Her name is Beulah, and she's with me now. She's here, I'm sure, listening. And enjoying the heck out of this service. She lived in Western North Carolina, and she taught shape note singing, which is really similar to what was happening here, where there were multiple parts of sacred songs, and everybody's parts combined and just made this beautiful, amazing soul sound. And so I wrote this song about her, and I'm playing it today because she lived and grew up in Western North Carolina, in Burnsville, North Carolina, which was hit pretty hard by the flooding. And so I'm just thinking of those people and my family there as they rebuild, which, as you can imagine, will take a little while. But it's a beautiful song about how love stays with us and the people that we love stay with us.
That was beautiful. They have such a beautiful sound, don't they? Just to get us in the presence and ready to sit here and take in some wisdom, to remember the truth and the power that lives within each and every one of us. Who's feeling the energies of the world right now? My goodness, it's an interesting time right now. And every talk that I've been saying is we're about to break through, but we got a few more weeks, guys. So we're being with self, and we're being with past, and we're being, the shadow stuff is really coming up right now in my own life too, but in the counseling I'm doing, my goodness, I've had a lot of counseling right now. My talk title right now is called I'm as Close to You as Breath Talk To. This is a poem by Rumi, and it's just a piece of it, where he says, come near, since you are me and I am you. There is no more separation. We are light upon light. Why this conflict, this stubbornness? What light flees from such a light? We are all one, complete being. Why this double vision? Draw near to unity, rise above your selfishness, and merge with all. On your own, you are only a seed of grain, but together with all, you are a gold mine. Yep, I like that part. On your own, you are only a seed of grain, but together with all, we are a gold mine, right? Together, collectively, we're so much more than in our isolation and tromping force in life and trying to do it all on our own and hopefully meditating and bringing Spirit along. But when we realize that it is Spirit through us, as us, then that collective of the individuals in our lives that are really spiritually seeking souls, we can help each other catapult and on quantum leap levels to higher consciousness, right? When we surround ourselves with this kind of high vibration, when we're all facing stuff right now. Who's noticing that memories of things from 10, 20 years ago are coming up and you're re-seeing it for hopefully the last time? Yeah, things are kind of veering its head and it's having one last whisper, like right before we step into this new age, which happens on November 19th, we go into the age of Aquarius finally. So we're close. We're really close. But Pluto right now is over the cardinal signs, which has been for 17 years, which is Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries, which is me, my husband, my mom, my secretary. Everybody that runs this church is in this massive denseness. So if I'm speaking to something you don't relate with, you might have already pulled out this last spring. But we're in it right now. We are having those last fragments of something that's been sitting in our world for 17 years. So can you imagine what's going to happen to this church when we all get to come free of this denseness in a month? So I'm so looking forward to that, I have to say. So whether the call from your spirit comes in subtle prods or radical come to Jesus moments of life and death or both, the key is to know that these calls from spirit will continue to appear over and over again throughout your entire life, always leading you home to self. The key is to recognize a call from Spirit and follow it without resistance or hesitation. So while we have these things bubbling up that are trying to rear its head, instead of avoiding it, move towards it. Let it have that last wisdom, that last teaching ability in you to become free in this life, to not be anchored by our pains, our cuts, our hurts, but let it show us that we are allowed to now live fully alive as what God had put us here to do originally, right? Edgar Cayce says, we were with God in the beginning, and through choice and experience, we found ourselves cut off from a complete awareness of spirit. In one respect, the fall of humankind was really our descent in consciousness, from the realm of infinity to those of time and space. However, this was not necessarily a bad thing or an erroneous choice. Just as a child learns through experience by making choices and even by making mistakes along the way, our own experiences will help our souls to mature. And that process will enable us to come into our full heritage and an awareness of our true spiritual nature. And one of the key players in working with others, letting the mirror of their essence deepen our understanding of self. Letting the mirror of others, and those are usually the mirrors of others that are not easy to deal with. They're usually the ones that push up against, that bring our ego up, that makes us feel like we're maybe less than or we're feeling attacked. Let us come up to it and be with it, because don't you know they're also messengers of spirit to grow us, to deepen us, to now allow ourselves to be more fluid, more awake, more aware of this high consciousness as us, right? Life will present people and circumstances to reveal to you where you are not free. Who has a person like that in your life right now? Yeah. So then they react, but the opportunity is to recognize you are a divine being. You are an aspect of God. You are the absolute. There's nothing wrong with you. Then why are you getting triggered by something or someone else? If we are already in divine in consciousness, and that's what we always were, and that's what Edgar Cayce is saying, we were born as in this perfection, right? But we slowly forget the truth of our being, the majesty of ourselves, the miracle workers that we are, just as Christ showed us we were all capable of being. These mirrors are saying, this is an opportunity to do it different this time. Because it might be a different person, but it seems to be the same set of circumstances that keep rearing its head, because it has to do with your karmic life, it has to do with your soul journey this time. And so when you see a repeat in relationship problems, and it's a different person, same situation, at some point it's not their fault, right? At some point we have to take to task what we're harboring in our subconscious, what we're feeling, what we're examining, and maybe not even examining, but it's a subconscious place that we're putting out to the universe that we're broken, right, without realizing it. And so then we get kind of attacked, because it's like animals, when they see a dying little animal, they attack it, right? There's this, and we do it as humans too. We kind of want to like force something to fight for themselves. They see the weak, and so we think there's almost a subconscious trying to help that broken person, but yet what we're doing is we're adding to their wounding if they're not ready to see from a higher point of consciousness that everything is in divine order, even this painful stuff. Every bit of it. Paul Ferrini writes in The Death of the Ego, "It is the nature of the ego to divide and conquer. Where it cannot divide, it cannot conquer. Every thought either separates or unites. Thoughts separate one idea from another or one person from another, obscure your awareness of the unity between the two of you. Ideas can become opponents just as easily as the people who think them. You think that you can attack people's ideas without attacking them, but there aren't many people who won't feel personally attacked when you attack their ideas. Because we don't have to understand what it's like to walk in another person's moccasins 100 miles, and until you do, you cannot judge their ideas. You can't judge who they are in this world. That is none of your business. Your business in this spiritual work is working on yourself. Looking at the moccasins, the 100 miles you've walked, and how you want to walk the next 100. How do you want to present yourself as this loving being when courting someone or dealing with your children or your most annoying child? I don't have one of those, but you might. It depends on what week it is, right? Or that mother that you just love so much, but all they do is ever just notice and nag you, and they never really quite accept you. I don't have one of those either, but you might. I would be very careful, because I have my whole family sitting in this room. She doesn't nag me anymore, let's just say that. So, she's a perfectionist. She's a Capricorn. They're very and I'm a Libra. I want to flow, and she's just like, but there's a way to do things. And I didn't fit in those things most of my adult life. Right? And it's a good lesson for me to remember that my kids aren't going to do things the way I do it. Right? I have a son that's an Aquarius. He's about to go into that age of Aquarius. And I can feel that unsettling in him. And the responsibility in that sign for him. But because I'm an air sign, I can feel that. I can feel where he is, and I know it's going to be magic to watch this unfoldment for him. He's 18. It's time, right? The universe is going to force him to get organized and start getting into his creative and really out picturing what's inspired through his music and all the creatives that he is. And that's what the Aquarius is. Aquarius is freedom. It's consciousness of freedom, that everybody gets to be exactly the way God made them. That's what the age of Aquarius before. What do we think about that? It's the 60s. What was that like? I'm bummed I missed out on it. Now I got Pluto over my life for the last 17 years. Thank you, God. All right. So it's the nature of the ego to divide and conquer, right? So 5 signs the universe is testing you before your huge breakthrough. So you can look into this with me and see if you're experiencing some of these, all right? Everything is falling apart instead of aligning perfectly. Life seems to be throwing chaos at you. It's not failure, it's the universe dismantling what no longer serves you, clearing space for the real breakthrough. Who's experiencing that? This is the next one. Feeling totally stuck the more you push. The more stuck you feel, this is the universe forcing you to surrender control. It's a call to stop forcing outcomes and let the higher plan unfold. Who's been trying to force outcomes? Isn't that just it's just natural to do that. And then when we remember to surrender and let go, freedom lives there. Freedom and faith lives there, because then we recognize there's something greater at hand, right? There's old wounds surfacing. Patterns you thought you healed reappear with a vengeance. It's not a setback, it's the final purge before you level up. You can't ascend without fully facing what's been hidden. Who is experiencing that one? So I'll give you an example of this for me this week. So my daughter, Arenya, for my birthday gave me tickets to Hamilton on Broadway in Denver this last Wednesday. And I grew up in show business, obviously, and all my kids have been too. And so to go see Hamilton was a really amazing gift to go see that show. And she's just a spoiler. That particular child of mine just always wants to take me for these really big experiences, and I have a really hard time receiving it because I'm the mommy, you know what I mean? But it's like, she's such a mommy. And since she was little, I'd call her mommy. I'd be like, what, mommy? Because there was just a mommy in her. She was always mommying me in this really sweet, caring way. And now that she's, 27, it's just an amazing thing. But near the end of the show, there's a song called It's Quiet Uptown. And it's a song about Hamilton after his son has been killed. And his wife is in such desperation. He's just gotten caught cheating. And they are in a separation, but she is so dying from the loss of her child. And so it's this whole song about him walking uptown in New York and trying to find the way to move through the grief of the loss of his son. And trying to find a way to bring his wife back and have her forgive him while she's also lost her son. And it's an incredibly beautiful song. And it's the backdrop song for the loss of my son, right? So when it gets to this point in the show, it ends with the words forgiveness. Can you imagine? It goes, forgiveness. Can you imagine forgiveness? Can you imagine? So the whole idea of like the most difficult, the most heartbreaking thing, can we ever get to forgiveness? And for me, I felt abandoned by my current husband when I lost my son. He left me emotionally. I went on to have 2 more kids, and he never came back. He never returned emotionally at all. He never cared what it was like for me to go through the loss of our son. It was all about him. And so my daughter's holding my hand, and we're just crying watching Hamilton, and she's bellowing, and I'm crying, and it's just this holy moment with her. And when we walked outside of the theater, she says, whenever you talk about Luca, you always talk about it like you went through it by yourself. But don't you realize that I was there the whole time too? I went through that with you, Mom. And there was something about that. She's right. I had my little mommy with me. And she was mommying me through that experience. She was 9 years old, but she was so beyond 9 years old. That shaped her life massively. And it just all came full circle. This sense of not being alone in this memory changed it for me. That's what needed to change in me when I lived in that memory. Me and Rini went through this. My other children didn't see him, didn't meet him, but she did. Do you see the difference, how it changes? The anchor is now I'm not alone. That I'm not the only one carrying his memory to keep him alive. Because has anybody lost a child in this room? If you have, there's a sense that you constantly have to keep them alive. That you have to keep their memory alive. And I'm not the only one that has to do it now. That we both are. Do you feel that unity instead of the individual, that isolation, that feeling, okay? So that's the one, the pattern of old wounds resurfacing. The next one is you're losing people. Friends, partners, or colleagues are falling away. It's painful, but they are part of the old you. The universe is clearing your energy field for new, aligned relationships to come in. Sudden, unexplainable calm is coming into your life from these experiences. So who's having sudden and unexplainable calm in the face of things that used to totally throw you over the edge? That's the good part. That's the sign that it's opening up. That calm is your truth. That's showing you that even when you're facing stuff that used to just flatten you, there's this unexplainable calm and a sense of being held by this loving, enduring, beautiful universe, right? Amidst the chaos, there are moments of deep peace, like the calm before the storm. This is your soul knowing that everything's about to shift dramatically in your favor. So Elizabeth Lesser, who wrote a book called Marrow, who's an amazing writer, and her books are what got me through loss in my life. But Marrow was one of them. Broken Open was my favorite, but this one talks about wounded healers, and I want to talk about that. There's an enormous vault of wisdom to draw from. The study and the healing of one's motivations and desires and behaviors dates back to the ancient philosophers, the Taoists in China and the yogis in India, the Egyptians and the Persians and the Greeks and the prehistory to the indigenous cultures whose shamans were the world's first therapists. In all of these settings, East and West, North and South, sacred and secular, ancient and current, the best of the philosophers, and with doctors and shrinks, have always been what shamanic cultures call wounded healers. Who's heard of that? Wounded healers. She goes on to say, wounded healers are comfortable with people in dark and troubled places because they too have been there and have found their way out. They may not have preferred the human experience, and they may be a little strange from frequent sojourns into the underworld, but they do have eyes that can see in the dark and have faith in the return of the light. And, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. That's supposed to have a slide in between. Thanks. So when you realize, like to look in your life, who believes that they have been helped by a wounded healer before? Who believes they are one? Yeah, because usually if you've been helped by a wounded healer, you are one, right? That's kind of universally the reality of it, okay? And when you are blessed to be one of these people who have visited these dark and troubled places and found your way out, you have an ability to help others in their dark days of loss. Loss of jobs, loss of family members, loss of love, loss of hope. To be able to shine a light from your very essence and energetic frequency to direct them through that hollowed place to keep moving forward until the light prevails again. It's not necessarily that they possess a metaphysical vision beyond this world, could be, or that they will lavish you with sympathy. However, they will see you completely and truly. That's what happens when a person shows up with their full presence. They see you. And being seen is one of the most healing things for our healing journey, for us coming back into our wholeness, is being seen and loved for exactly what we are, our brokenness, our mistakes, our everything. To be mirrored that you're a perfect child of God. We all are. No matter what life, what you've been into, no matter what. You're divine in nature. And the more you've gone through hell, the more you chose to be here to be a wounded healer, to be facing a time like what's happening on this planet, to be a healer and help others through it, and vice versa. It's a powerful, powerful thing, and that's what our prayer partners are for. It's why we have them available to you. At the end of the service, when you're feeling just fragmented and you can't find that light at all, just merely being seen in a prayerful place with people that pray all the time can shift. It can bring a light on in you. And it's going to empower you to keep going and doing it better right? So it seems to me that the capacity for true presence we find among awakened beings isn't artificial, but it's an artifact of their own annihilation. Their identification with a separate self has dissolved in the ocean of the one. All is left is pure presence. So they've gone down what you've gone down, if not more. And they resolved it. They found the light within that pain, right? Who would say that they have been healed by a wounded healer? See, when I lost my son, people would have all sorts of advice. It's not a good time to give people advice when they've lost their kids. The best thing you can do is, I'm here. I'm here. You can never know what they're going through, and it's a different individualized experience. But I had a woman that had lost 2 children, one in a drowning accident through ice, and a baby that didn't make it. And she sat with me. She was a big singer in our choir at the time, and she would say things like, "This will never go away. This is a part of you forever now." And you want people to say that it will go away, but then she'd say, "You know what though? You will have joy again. You will have humor again. You will have love again," right? But this will always be a part of you now, right? And I could handle that truth. Tell me the truth about what this is going to be like. How do people move through something like this? You're in such a broken place, you don't want to be on the planet anymore. It's a very but that wounded healer was there for me. I could call her in any moment. I still can. She has a special place in my soul. She's an extension of me, because she mirrored the power and the light that lived within me. And she guided me through that dark tunnel that lasted years. Years. So the mystics of all traditions and both sexes sing of the joy of burning. What burns? Our attachment to the false self, the illusion of separate from the divine. "Die before you die," said the Prophet Muhammad. Rumi spoke of the blessing of being trampled grapes and becoming the wine of the beloved. Who feels like trampled grapes right now? Just keep going, guys. Just keep going, right? They say you're going through hell, just keep going. Just keep going. The way of the mystic is the way of surrender, of dying to the false self to be reborn as the true self, the God self, the radiant, diving being we actually are. It's not that the old self, the personality, the ego, the stories we tell about our lives is bad or wrong. It's that when we recognize the essential emptiness of our own individual identity in light of the glorious gift of our interconnectedness with the one, independence becomes much less compelling. And that's the path of connection. That's why I do these discussion groups on Sundays. We don't ever know what we're going to talk about. You know what the topic is? What's on your heart right now? What came up during this sermon? A lot of times people say, "I just love that one part in the sermon," and you're going, that never happened. Because what you're experiencing from what I'm saying right now, you're in your own world. It's being applied to all of the things you're going through, and you might, like a lot of times people associate with things, and what they're getting out of this is God with you. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying up here. I might just be evoking something that's in your world. To remember that there's hope. To remember that your prayers do bring healing. And so what you could ask this, just like telephone, I could ask that person, what was the sermon about? And I could ask this person, and it's like, because that's how this interconnectedness is. We need to share and talk and heal and be with each other. And what the outcome is for any other person is none of your business. It's just that interconnectedness. and being able to see each other, right? So astrologically right now, this is what's going on. If you're completely overwhelmed right now, it's perfectly natural. Because this Aries full moon that just happened this last Thursday is taking us deep, deep into the realm of our unaddressed wounds and shadows. It is conjunct Chiron, which is bringing us on a soul retrieval journey. This full moon is not just emotional, it's visceral and really intense. Because it's likely illuminating our soul's fragmentation, it's showing us how pieces of our soul may have broken off during difficult, painful moments in our lives, leaving us feeling incomplete. However, this full moon can help us re-access those lost pieces of our soul. Cool, right? So you may find yourself walking back through those times, and ideally, we can nurture and resuscitate that missing part of our being. So it's natural right now for raw feelings to come up. It's totally fine if you have to cry it out. This is initiating some really powerful healing work. And it's expanding your understanding. That can be revitalized with love. As we reunite the pieces, we can really show unconditional love for ourselves. Some of you, on the other hand, may be celebrating a major milestone in your healing process. You should also revisit mid-February and early April this year. So if you are celebrating and things are feeling really well, then you are going through it mid-February and in April. So I'm glad you guys are on the other side. You can help us get back on the other side too. Here we go. And could give you additional context on what you're trying to mend. And if you have placements in a cardinal sign, which I just talked about, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, Aries, then this is the really cool part. Then you are definitely tapping into the shamanistic power of this full moon. Are you willing to find yourself no matter what emotions you need to go through to find yourself? Are you willing to go through the emotions to find yourself? You know how you just will push up and it's I don't really want to feel that? Or we just go if I start crying, I might not ever stop. You ever had that? I've already gone down that road. I don't really want to go down that road again because I know that one's really painful and I don't really want to have to but you'll find that it's not nearly the same journey because this is the last piece. It no longer has to have a life form in us, right? So I wanted to share a picture of my family on Thanksgiving years back, and Gail and Steve on the far left are no longer with us. We would consider them the uncle and aunt of Unity. They've been here forever. But they're family to our family. They were at our Christmases and Thanksgivings, and Steve made his transition this last July, and they had no next of kin and they had no family, right? So there was really not a good will done with it. This is a reminder, you really do have to take care of your wills and things like that because it does land on your churches and things like that to figure out people's lives and closing them up. Just as a reminder, because now Mike and I are in the position to have to close up a life, right? So we finally got let into the house yesterday, to a house that's not had anybody in it since July, to two people that we love, their family, right? And the hollowness and the emptiness of going into this house. And then looking at what a life is. This is where it lands, is this empty house with all these pictures and all this stuff. No child, no friends, nobody to take care of this situation. And here we are, the adopted children, basically, Mike and I, which we're happy to be it. And we were outside and getting the mail and things like that, and all the neighbors are coming out, talking about what beautiful people they were, because we lost Gail 2 years ago, and how much they loved them. And they said, so are you the church that they went to? Are you the church? And I'm yeah, we are. And are you the minister? And I said, well, my dad is, they would consider my dad the minister. I'm the daughter of the minister. And this one man says, so you're a Groverland? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you must be really powerful people. Because he said the only family he has in this world is that Groverland family. and to receive that. Two people that did nothing but just serve this community. Served this community. Like you can't imagine. To hear that we meant so much to them, as much as they meant to us, it reinvigorated in me of why we do this work. Because sometimes it can be pretty exhausting. But to have a third party share that doesn't know you at all, that kind of love and respect, it puts you back into the reality of why we're actually here. They felt seen by us. They felt seen by you in this community. They participated. They formed this prayer team. This prayer team was completely started by Lori Park, and then she took it on when Lori Park passed away, and Gail made this thing so expansive and so unbelievable. And she lived her life praying for people when she was fighting cancer for 16 years. Completely outside of herself, selfless beyond. To be this Christ potential for others. And so now Mike and I have the honor to close this life up correctly. Because we saw them and they saw us. Thank you.
Just a beautiful reminder of the power of love. Oh, wow. And we are so blessed. We really are. We should acknowledge that and be able to share that wherever we go, whatever we do. Love is the key to everything that makes good, beautiful lives. All right, those of you that are watching this live stream, you have the different ways you can tithe to Unity of Boulder. And we always want to give thanks to those people that are recurring tithers. That is, they give a certain amount every month. You can do that. You can sign up to do that. Helps us understand how much money we have to deal with so that we can work on the things we need to get done, but we can't do them all, but we do them piecemeal as we see that they have priority. So our thanks to all recurring gifts, to all who give, period. And right now we are here to share the love of being alive in the awareness of our divinity. And as we bring to our hands the gifts we'd like to make to Unity, let's bless them with this offering prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. Oh, and we have our special music to return. Don't we have a second song? Okay, yes, we have Neil and Amy joining their music again.
An amazing message from Syntysche. We're going to sing about that moon she was talking about and finding all those pieces with love and putting them back together. You guys can sing along if you know this one. Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dance. 'cause I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again, 'cause I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon, when we were strangers, I watched you from afar. And when we were lovers, I loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is climbing high. When our music's playing, let's go out and feel the night. 'Cause I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again, 'cause I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon, still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again, 'cause I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon, thank you.
That was like hypnotic. Really beautiful. Wow. We'll have you back a lot more often. Somehow they fell off our list of people we were putting on the schedule, and I said to Heather last week, I'm like, there's other people we had. What happened? And we realized it was you guys that were missing, so we're so glad you're back. Yeah. So we were talking about these wounded healers. Here's our wounded healers. Let's stand up, you beautiful people.
Yeah.
And if you're facing a challenge today or even a joy and you'd like to share it, you can just stay seated in your seat at the completion of the service, and they will come and sit with you and see you and talk with you. I will have my discussion group 5 minutes after the service back here in this little alcove for about 20 minutes. So everyone's welcome to come join in that. And I think we'll just close with Let There Be Peace on Earth. And I can have the entertainment club come up here, and you guys can sing it up here. And you guys can stand up. Here we go. What's that note? Okay.
Peace.
Let there be peace on earth. No, okay. I thought that sounded weird. Okay.